When you travel the world for a year, you see and experience so much, and we want to share our daily travels with you. Unfortunately, a hard drive failure means we have to tell the middle a little bit differently. So, welcome to Storytime with the Happy Hoppies in this edition of The Lost Episodes. We were not planning on going to this country, but we did because it was actually cheaper to go here first than to go straight on to Israel. So, welcome to Cyprus, country number 38. Woo-hoo! And the way that we found flights a lot of the time was to use flights.google.com. And then on the side, you can kind of see the Explore tab, and then you can see which routes from which cities are cheapest, and you can really just find your way around. Now, at that time, there wasn't a flight from Athens to Tel Aviv, Israel that was affordable. Now, it looks like Aegean Air does fly there, and it actually is affordable, but at that time, that flight route was not available to us. And so we looked up, and I knew that we had used Ryanair in the past and it was really affordable. So then I specifically went to Ryanair's website and found their flight map, and then saw that they had a flight from Cyprus to Tel Aviv that was quite affordable. And so it was like, all right, well, how do we get to Cyprus affordably? And then saw that Athens had a flight with Cobalt, which was a new airline that we hadn't tried yet. And that was from Athens to Cyprus. So again, we weren't planning on going there, but we're like, hey, it's cheaper to go here, so might as well see a new country. And we only spent one night there because it was just passing through, but we enjoyed our time there.
Yeah. So we landed in Cyprus in Paphos, and the buses were actually on strike. So instead of being able to take a cheap bus from the airport to our hotel, it was gonna be like $60, I think, for a taxi.
I thought it was about 30 maybe, but it was kind of crazy because I think it maybe only been like 30, but it was 30 euros, which is more than dollars, about $40 or something.
So either way, it was a lot of money.
More than we wanted to spend because we went there to save money.
So I looked it up on Google Maps, and it was only like a 13K walk. And it was a beautiful day at this point. And we had just done the 11K walk back in Santorini from Fira to Ia.
Just 4 days ago.
Just 4 days ago. If we hadn't done that, we probably wouldn't be so inclined to do it. But since we just had done that, we're like, it's 2 more K, let's do it.
So I think that the taxi drivers, because they were trying to negotiate with us, and we were telling them we're just going to walk, and they knew where our hotel was, and they're like, no, that's so far. I think they thought we were trying to use a tactic to lower their prices, but we were just completely serious. And we just started walking, and they all stared at us like, those crazy people are walking. But we got there, I think because we flew really early from Athens, and so I think it was noon or something by the time we got there, plenty of daylight. And so we actually didn't walk on the major roads because that would have been more like a 15, 16K.
It would have been a lot longer.
And so we walked actually along the coast, along the beach. And it was really gorgeous. First though, we were walking alongside the airport. So there's kind of a beach, but kind of rocks you're having to go over. And there's the fence right here for the airport, and there's planes flying in. So that was pretty fun. And yeah, we have our backpacks on and we're just going along. And at one point though, it did start to rain, and that was rather unfortunate. But we just got our rain jackets on and put the rain covers on our backpacks.
Good to go.
Yeah, exactly. And we walked along some smaller roads as well. And then we ended up back on the beach, and we sat down finally and had some snacks on us that we were able to eat. And then we just continued on and got to the row of resorts.
Which, I mean, the resorts, this was off season, so it was a little bit colder. What time of year was this then?
December 3rd.
Okay, it was December 3rd. She's doing the date, she's doing the editing. So it's December, so not very many people are there, so the resorts.
I'm sorry, December 5th. Oh, no, December 6th.
It was December, that's why I don't do exact dates.
I think it was December. It was early December.
Early December. Anyway, So, you know, the resorts look really empty. Like nobody is moving in a lot of these places. And there's a few other people that are walking around, strolling around like we are. But for the most part, looks like a ghost town. There's like some construction going on in different places, doing some renovations and updates, you know, for the next season. But yeah, for the most part, not a whole lot happening. But it was still a really cool, just relaxing walk, just going down along the coastline there. Yeah, finally got to the hotel, got checked in, and then we went out and got some pizza.
Yeah, I don't really remember what we ate that night, but Peter was really good about keeping details of all of our expenses, and so he
Most
had
of the time.
Yeah, and so he has under that like $20 pizza or something that we got in Cyprus. So I guess we went out for pizza that night, which makes sense because I don't remember what else we would have eaten, and I don't remember going to a grocery store, so I think we had pizza there. But when we got to the hotel, you know, we're kind of sweating, but it's not really that hot outside. It would have been like too cold to go into the water. That's probably why it wasn't very busy that time of year. But we got in, and the receptionist, we told her that we just had walked from the airport, and she was like, what? And we told her because the buses were on strike, and she's like, yeah, they normally go on strike 1 or 2 times a year, and she normally gets the bus into work. And so she said that she was surprised that morning when she woke up. And at that point we asked her, we're like, well, we're supposed to go back to the airport tomorrow. Do you know if they'll be off strike? And she's like, who knows? Sometimes it's just one day and sometimes it's like a week. So you just don't know.
So the rest of that evening, we just kind of chilled after our pizza, I guess. Just chilled at the hotel.
And after a walk, I mean, it was a nice way to see Cyprus.
A little bit more of Cyprus.
Yeah, more of Cyprus. So we were just really, really tired, and we just rested the rest of the day.
So in the morning, before heading out to do our sightseeing for the day, we had a wonderful breakfast at the hotel.
The hotel was only $32 a night, and that included breakfast. And it was a good breakfast. I don't remember everything, but I'm sure we had some more Greek yogurt, because I think even though, you know, it's not Greece there, they still have a lot of that influence there in Cyprus.
So then we headed out to do our little sightseeing for the day, and we started off going to this church that was really close to the hotel and started taking some pictures. And while we were doing that, taking pictures of the church, we noticed a couple other people that had some jackets on that looked like police officers, and they were carrying what looked like a body bag. And I told Lisa that, and she's like, no, that can't be. And then sure enough, they got a little closer and they asked, you know, please don't take pictures, which we weren't taking pictures of the body bag. But they confirmed that's what it was. Like apparently somebody had hung themselves that previous night there at the church somewhere. So crazy.
It was just so sad. It was a neighbor that, you know, she was talking to us and kind of told us all that she had heard. She said that it was another one of her neighbors that was walking her dog and came upon the man who hung himself that previous night. And it's really disheartening, you know, because every life is important and every life matters. And this day and age, it just kind of seems like when things get overwhelmed, it's like, oh, let's just, you know, end your life. But your life makes a difference. And so I just want to encourage you that suicide is not the answer, and just to seek help. I'll leave a couple of links in the description of like if you do have suicidal thoughts, just to go and to pursue those options.
So yeah, talk to a friend, talk to somebody maybe from church, call 800 number, you know, go to one of these websites, link down below. But yeah, definitely reach out. So from there, we finished taking pictures of the church and then continued on. We ended up going down to the beachfront, and I took some pictures of this statue of this boy with a fish, I think. It's, you know, a fishing town, or used to be at one point, I guess. And the waves are like crashing up, you know, and hitting the shore there. Then we walked down a little bit further, and we saw these signs saying that Paphos was a European cultural city or something like that.
Yeah.
For 2017, was it?
Yep, and that's the year we were there.
Seems so long ago now, because here it's 2019, but
it was December, okay?
It was the end of 2017. So anyway, it had just been a cultural city, or cultural capital,
yes,
I think is what they called it, for that year. So pretty cool. And anyway, we walked around, saw a few more sites. To get up onto the hilltop, we actually wandered around these caves first. And inside of this cave, they had this really cool art display. It was, I don't know, like a bunch of almost like red yarn that was like strung all over the inside of the cave.
It was very interesting.
It was very unique. We've never seen anything like that before. Then you just wandered through more of the cave, got up to the top, took some pictures of a little bit further away of a lighthouse for Lisa's mom.
My mom absolutely loves lighthouses, so we made sure to get a couple of good shots of that.
And then there was a little amphitheater over there by that, but we didn't want to walk all the way over there again, so we're just like, we'll pop the zoom on, take a couple pictures from here, call it good. And then we saw this other really cool church and we went down to that, took a few pictures of that. And then from there, I think we went on back.
Yeah, and we made it back to our hotel before our checkout time. So that way we were able to, while we were doing all that exploring, we were able to leave our bags in the hotel. So we just grabbed our bags and then we headed to the airport. And thankfully the bus was running. And so we just paid €3 each to get back to the airport. And we didn't have to pay an expensive taxi ride or walk again. I don't know what we would have done. We probably would have just walked it.
We were planning on walking if we had to.
Because our flight wasn't until later that evening and we had like 5 hours and it took like 2.5 hours to walk, so we would have still had time. But I'm really glad that the bus was available and not on strike anymore. And so we got to the airport and did some work in the airport before our flight left. And then our flight took off around sunset time with Ryanair to Tel Aviv. And so join us in the next couple of episodes as we explore Israel. This was definitely a place that we were so excited to go to, and we cannot wait to share these episodes with you. See ya.
Then.